Hey, what's good in the hood? It's your boy Stuart, aka Jay Stewie. Stewie do it. And we back again on the Good in the Hood page, as well as the Gorilla Finger page, with another episode of Conspiracy the Future. Let's get into it right away. Jeez. Man, we are back again on this Maui fire. They are not reporting the truth on the news, but that's nothing new. Okay, let me show you why we don't. I'm gonna get into this Maui fire thing, but before we do that, let's show you why you guys should not be paying attention to the news and taking their word as golden. All right, so let me get into this. Please forgive me. I'm still learning how to be fluid on this system. All right, so I'm just gonna get into it right away. Let's show you why it's extremely dangerous to continue to follow the mainstream media narrative.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
the sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarmingly, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Good evening, and once again, the world is learning just how easy it is to get under the skin of the most powerful man on earth.
Explain something. Why does Nancy Pelosi get under the president's skin so much?
Pelosi has an uncanny ability to get under Trump's skin.
Extremely effective at getting under his skin.
Nancy Pelosi clearly got under his skin.
Pretty clear that she gets under his skin.
She has this unique quality of getting under the president's skin.
Pelosi, for some reason, gets under his skin. She gets under the president's skin. I think it is clear that Nancy Pelosi gets under his skin.
She does get under his skin.
She gets under his skin. That getting under the president's skin very clearly got under his skin.
She gets under his skin.
She knows that this kind of language is likely to get under his skin. The charge of a president.
Enough of that. As you can see, obviously, you cannot trust the mainstream news narrative. They just parrot. They just parrot the shit. They all run to you. If you didn't notice, there was NBC, Fox News, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, all of them on the same script, but yet you want to believe that they want you to believe that they're biased or they're critical thinking and they're actually reporting the news. I think not. We know not. That is not the case. So let's get into this Maui fire shit. Man, it's been a wild one. There's a lot of conspiracies. Actually, it's not a lot of conspiracies. There's one conspiracy theory going on. Now one conspiracy theory, and one reason why this fire happened. Okay, of course, The mainstream news media is going to blame it on negligence. As you can see, they already went ahead and fired the emergency chief. It says he resigned, but he actually was fired. Okay, he had to get fired. They have to blame it on somebody. As you can see in this picture right here, you see this character right here in the background holding the blue envelope? That's slimy Josh Green. Okay, now he has a lot to do with this Conspira-See the Future episode. Okay, I'm going to tell you what their plans for the future are and why this happened. Okay, so keep listening for the name Josh Green. Okay, that's just fishy. They are letting Herman and Daya take the blame for this. Okay, they're also blaming the power company, utility power company. I'm sorry, the Hawaii utility company. They're being sued. There's all kinds of class actions, Lucy, on them. They're going to take some of the blame for that while they're doing faulty shit. As you can see here, we got Maui Utility may have compromised evidence in a fire probe, lawyers say, by removing damaged poles. They're supposed to leave those out there for the fire investigation, but obviously the cover-up is on. And more proof of that. I have plenty of proof of that. The Maui fire investigators' top emergency filters were on a different island for disaster training as flames flared and did not join response call until 5 hours after deadly wildfires begun. So the people that were in charge and responsible for protecting this community were conveniently on another island for what? For what were they on another island for? A training meeting? A disaster training meeting? A FEMA disaster training meeting? Man, when it is too much coincidence, you got to start asking questions. Ask plenty of questions because there's a lot going on here. We've been going through the footage. We've been going through all the footage. And there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be answered. For instance, these are the locals. I'm going to speed it up to get there. The locals feel that some funny stuff is going on.
But law prevents us from having access. Why can the media not have access? Understand physics, science, melting. How is that possible for us out to the world through the YouTube algorithm? And for all you scientists out there that have been saying, if this melted, how did that cone not completely disappear? Because if you look at this vehicle, and I want you to notice the burn, the amount of grass, as you can see.
Okay, just to give you a little update on this, or a little rehash on what's going on here. These are Hawaii locals, natives, and if you're not aware, they're not letting the natives back onto the island. They're not letting them back to Lahaina. They're not letting the people that live there, the people that didn't have their houses burned down, they're not allowed back. The people that lived in the apartments that were burned down, even if the apartment wasn't burned down, like some of them weren't burned down, they're getting evicted from their apartments. And you're going to see in this video that they do not want people out here collecting their own evidence. They're trying to prevent people from flying. There's a no-fly drone over the burn area now. Why is there a no-fly zone over the drone area? I mean, over the burn area. People want to fly the drones over the area to see what's going on. They're not allowed to. We're gonna watch this video real fast.
The car is basically completely surrounded by gravel. And you can see a small little flames right here when this grass burned. Yet when you turn and look right in this direction, besides seeing Dylan, my technical camera.
Now tell me if that doesn't sound suspicious. Doesn't look suspicious. We have dirt. As you can see across the street, we have brush. Okay. Apparently the fire did not jump the highway. There's no fuel around this car, yet it's burned to the ground.
You can see this car. And for all you scientists out there that have been sending me images and you're asking me if they're real, I'm here to tell you, in Jesus' name, what we're showing you is real, live on YouTube. So if you enjoy content like this, we ask you to please immediately like this, share this, and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because
I'm going to play a good amount. I want to play a good amount of this video. It's telling, very telling. Especially you're going to see in the future of this video or soon that when the police come up and what they have to say, you're going to be very freaked out. Whatever's going on in Hawaii is fuck shit. Excuse my language. I'm going to explain to you my theory on that at the end when we reach the conspiracy, the future. When we give our theory on the future of this conspiracy theory, I'm going to tell you what I believe. But let's get into this.
Out to the world, YouTube algorithm. This is a tire that is gone. These are the braids of steel inside the tire. Look at this particular rim. Is it safe to say these are aluminum?
Look at the windshield. What's that?
Are these aluminum?
Yeah, that's cast aluminum wheels.
Cast aluminum wheel. You can see it melted.
And the windshield on the inside.
Look at the windshield. That is a windshield right there that is completely melted. We have some jumper cables in the back of the vehicle. We have some cast aluminum here that's pulverized.
Just dust.
How is that possible for a grass fire that did not come from this direction? Because you can see there's nothing that's been burned over here. What could cause that type of destruction when you have a grass fire on this side that obviously didn't connect? But even if it was a grass fire,
and it's still only half burned. I mean,
yeah, you can see there's even some grass over here that's still standing. It's not even been burned. So even down below, directly below this, you can see some wood fence posts that were burned, but you can see all that grass is still good. So how do you get this car this hot? In the comments section, I need to hear from you guys. Honestly, I need to hear in the comments section. There's some smart people, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about some intelligent.
Now, those are fair questions. How is this car sitting in the middle of a dirt field with no burnt grass or anything burnt around it? How did this car, mind you, it looks like a Jeep Liberty. Not my favorite car, but this shit burnt to nothing. How did that happen? That we need answers. The Hawaiian natives, the locals need answers. How did this happen?
But I've had people reach out to me from around the world asking for these types of images, detailed images. And by the way, thankful that the sheriffs have left. We asked them if I said, hey, if you guys love your country, allow us to come in here and grab these images. And they've left. I'm so thankful. And I told the sheriff, hey, I'm thankful for you guys because you're sworn to protect the Constitution. You've got more power than anybody.
Thank God they left the area.
Thank God they left the area. Yeah, we're so thankful that they did. They had
As you can see there, the cops were sound like they're giving them a hard time about being in this area. However, after being guilt tripped, they allowed them to stick around and get this footage, which we are grateful for, because the powers that be don't want people to see these images. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
Fuel around this car whatsoever, and nothing coming from that end. How in the world could it create enough fuel to melt this vehicle the way that it has? So now the police or somebody has shown up.
Yeah, we're out of here.
We're out of here.
Okay, as you can see, the police have shown up. From what the natives are saying, these are a different type of police. They're not the native police, but you could tell by their foreign vehicle. It's a Nissan. It's not a sheriff's vehicle. It's not a police office vehicle. It's a foreign vehicle. Even the natives are suspicious of these cops. But let's see what they have to say.
We're on our way out, sir.
How's it?
Okay, for your service.
Did you hear that? I'm going to slow it down. I need you to listen closely and answer for me. Why?
By the way,
No problem.
good looking out.
We're not allowing no videos or no pictures taking out.
Okay.
Thank you for your service.
Did you hear that? They are not allowing any videos or picture taking. Why won't they allow them to take pictures or videos? Please explain that. I believe that's constitutionally illegal. Yet they are overlooking, they're not obeying the Constitution. They're just doing their own thing. It's crazy, and the news isn't reporting about this, but there are a lot of eyewitness accounts. There's a lot of
Just by the way,
a lot of locals that are telling their story. So we're gonna go ahead and speed it up a little bit. You're telling a story which doesn't add up to what they're telling us on the news, which makes sense because the news is only there to tell you what the story is, their story, but not the story, the truth. And as citizens, we can't fall for this. We cannot fall for this type of fuckery. Obviously, cars, even if the car caught on the side of the freeway, gas tank caught on fire. I've seen that happen before, yet the rims don't melt, the windows don't melt. All that stuff is suspicious. All that is suspicious. So, okay, this is another gentleman here. Oh, another thing, they were blocking the highways out. There's plenty of eyewitness accounts from the locals that were saying that the exits to Lahaina were blocked.
All the cars were lined up, but none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to the chart house. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just walking. Well, maybe you know something I don't, you know. So, and I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind. No cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach. Still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom. And then I heard people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where that restaurant is?
Right, where the chart house
Where the chart house was, I should say. There was a...
That's just one account. There's many exits, all of which were blocked. I have more evidence of that.
All of a sudden they said, everybody's off, get off this highway, go down this way, down into town. Then they started blocking everything off there. And
So you got corralled onto
Yes.
Front Street. You started on Honopilani Highway.
Yes.
And you ended up on Front Street.
Yeah, couldn't go anywhere. They just said, go north, go north, go north. And then when we got on Front Street, embers were coming over the buildings and landing on our vehicles. And we're all in a line trying to get to the end of Front Street to go north, like they told us to, not knowing that the police blocked off the end of Front Street so nobody could move. All of a sudden, nobody could move anywhere. So all I did was try to inch my way over to another yard and drive up through a sidewalk, come back around, and then I went. The cops were moving around one exit, so I ended up getting up on the highway, even though they tried to direct me another way, and then I held it to home.
So you basically had to climb up on sidewalks and go against what the cops were telling you could do. You had to break traffic laws, essentially.
Basically.
We're almost at the end of the
We're gonna watch this whole video. This video is bonkers. Man. And it's hard to believe that it isn't hard to believe. You guys got to wrap your mind about the fact that this was intentionally set by our government, and there's a government cover-up going on. It's hard to believe, but if you read between the lines, it's hard not to see.
Just know that we cannot do nothing for her. Oh my God.
Bro, what the fuck? That's a body on the ground. Man, it's crazy, man.
What the fuck, dude? Just go. Go, people, go. Beat the horse. Oh my God, bro. Oh, beat the horse. Let's see. Yeah, I know you can't see.
By the time we got to Safeway, that's what was behind us.
Wow. So you went north.
We went north.
Was there down power lines?
He's showing a picture of his phone, and what you can see is a line of cars behind him.
On the highway?
Everybody was stuck.
We had no idea that the road was stopped and they wouldn't let us move. And I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and the sky is getting blacker and blacker in my rearview mirror. And I'm like, I got out. We were stopped.
Yo, this lady right here is the GOAT. She's the GOAT. She's man, she's somebody's mom. She's strong. Hey, she's talking.
It's getting blacker and blacker in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, I got out. We were stopped. I got out. I beat on his door. You scared the crap out of me. I was like, you see that field? You see that field? If they don't let us go, we drive that fucking van right through that goddamn field and into the ocean because that fire.
He said, she told him, yo, the police aren't letting us go. If they don't let you go, you fucking drive your ass through that field. And guess what they did?
We're coming right now, and we're not going to make it. That's all. Because that fire is coming right now, and we're not going to make it.
That's all because they wouldn't let nobody go.
But why wouldn't they let them go? It's because they're down power lines. Yeah, that's the reason. So they couldn't go. They couldn't go around the power lines. The power lines.
Let us drive right through the goddamn. They were lit. There was no.
The power was out.
Okay, I found videos of the down power lines. The power lines only covered a lane of the road. There was another police car blocking the other lane of the road, turning people around. There's footage of this. If I have to make another video to show you guys, I will.
Right. So there's no power in the line.
What was that morning?
Because we were trying to look at the length of the poles. They wouldn't cross the whole highway. There should have been the lanes.
There was enough room that you could have gone.
Right. Oh, you got pictures
I wanted
of
to
it.
drive through
So
there.
what direction are we looking at?
Like they stopped the traffic.
So
Right,
is that what?
north? That's Kapuna Kea right there.
That's Kapuna Kea.
And they would not let people leave.
So how did you guys eventually get your car out of
We
there?
ended up fighting our way through the parking lot.
Creep through. A police officer came off the bypass here, and so the
We
traffic
forced
lane that was
ourselves
supposed to go.
coming down. We forced
We
ourselves
forced our
into 2 lanes
in.
and forced our way out.
I wouldn't get off this bumper. I did not care about the rules and the laws of who you're supposed to stop and let the next person go because we got separated before. And I'm not.
I was hearing from other eyewitness accounts or people that were involved, that were in the fire, that if you didn't obey authorities, you didn't survive. If you obeyed authorities, you likely died in that fire. It was as if they were giving orders to ensure maximum death. Okay. Funny thing is, this police chief, who just was named police chief in 2023, he beat out 4 other police chiefs for this job. 4 other police chiefs who happen to be local police chiefs for this job. This police chief is the same police chief that was in charge during the Las Vegas massacre where 91 people died. So now this police chief has hundreds of bodies due to his irresponsibility or giving bad commands, giving bad orders. He's doing a horrible job at his job, and that is not a coincidence. This guy got the job because he's good at his job, and that's maximum death, carnage. He's good at carnage. Okay, he got a 29% raise from $159,000 to $205,000. Moved his whole family to Hawaii. I think that's odd. The dude doesn't have a good record. He already has 91 bodies under his belt. Yet he was picked as the top choice for this job over 4 other Hawaiians. Hey man, if you guys keep on calling people conspiracy theorists without even investigating a little bit, you're gonna get eaten, bro. You're gonna get eaten. Hey, it's smart to be paranoid. Paranoid people survive. If you're not paranoid, you'll get eaten by a bear or some shit, doing some dumb shit. All right, be paranoid. Ask questions.
Oh, you guys in separate cars?
Yeah, I was in one van, he was in the other van. Help us! Oh, send your angels! Look! Lord! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No, we gotta get out or something. The car! The car! The car! We have to go! We have to go! Oh no! Oh no, guys! No, we have to leave! We have to leave! No, there's a car behind! This is a disaster.
As you can see from that last video, they were stuck in traffic and embers were blowing across the road. I've heard accounts that these embers were the size of baseballs from 3 or 4 different people that were there.
Sure.
As you can see, these people were forced to the ocean. They were stuck in there's a lot of people stuck in traffic on Front Street with no other option but to abandon their vehicle and hit the rocks by the ocean.
Okay, you're in the water. Fuck this shit.
Went to
Man.
Wind was blowing, so I knew it would be.
We've already seen this guy. Yeah.
Oh my god, we're surrounded by fucking fire. Oh my god, and lines. There are power lines everywhere. I just gotta get out of here before we burn to death. Fuck. I'm so scared. Oh my god.
Man.
Fire. Oh my god, I've never been so scared in my life. I think, oh my god. 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 Oh, I'm so fucking scared.
See, this is what they're not showing on the news. This is what they're not showing on the news. The best journalists are the regular people on the ground with cell phones, because by the time the mainstream media get the footage, chop it back up so that their anchors can throw it up on a script for all the other ankles nationwide to read, they're all on the same page, but they're not telling the truth. There's something bigger going on here.
Almost rescued.
Dude.
Whoa, put your earbuds in.
It's gonna be fine.
It's fine. The firemen are right here.
It's just, wow.
Look, the traffic. There's nowhere to go.
And out to head north, but that was totally blocked by just fallen things, debris.
We're trying to get there, honey. We're fine.
See, these even the natives don't want to believe that their authorities or their governor or their president or the powers that be, FEMA or whatever, would have the no empathy, would they be able to pull this off without no concern for these people. Trust me, they fucking do. They don't give no fucks. They don't care. Look.
So you know.
Gonna be fine.
Oh. Let's go ahead and keep on playing this on play. They turned the water off. There was no water for the firefighters to fight the fires with.
Street, and it was just totally blocked up, and no cars were moving.
I just can't freaking see.
The power lines, the power was shut off. They're trying to say that this fire was started from fallen power lines, but it is the power company's practice that when they get reports of high winds, they don't take any risks. They just shut the power off. So why this time did they not shut the power off if in fact it was the power lines that caused this fire? Which I think you can see from the earlier video that the car that was in the dirt field by itself alone, that burnt and melted down into the dirt pretty much, that this fire couldn't have been started by down power lines. When does that happen? Where was the fuel around that vehicle in order to ignite that vehicle? Okay, we had flying embers flying. Where did the embers fly from? That car was not surrounded by fire. It was in the middle of a dirt field. Okay, here, this is as you can see here, this is where they're being turned around. There's a blockage up there. The police car was able to make it through. However, these cars are being turned around. There's these cars right here on the left. This truck is driving back towards the fire because there's no exit. They had them blocked in. Oh, back on the topic of the no water. I have a video of the water management director who said in the interview that they have to call the farmers and ask them if they can use the water because water's sacred in Hawaii. Okay, that's true. That may be true. I get that. I'm sure that is true. Water is sacred. On an island surrounded by salt water, you need water. But how come they didn't use the salt water to fight the fire? There's water feet away. They can't. There's no pumps. There's no pumping system to pump out of the ocean. It's crazy. We got glass that melted. When have you ever seen a burned car on the side of the freeway with the glass melted? It's crazy. Okay, the green trees next to these cars. How does that happen? I'm gonna give you what I think my idea on what they think, what I think they used. Okay, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a firefighter, but the temperature of this fire could only reach that height with an accelerant, some form of accelerant. That's crazy. This is supposed to be, I've never been here, but this is supposed to be the prime real estate. As you can see, it is. It's like the shops right on the beach with the ocean across the street. You know, this is like, so you can see why the rich and powerful would want to get their hands on this. Okay. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Davos conference, the World Economic Forum, you should do yourself a favor and go down that rabbit hole. Okay, this is a weird. Okay, look at this video. They're putting a fence up around the burn area. I already mentioned that they've already evicted everyone out of the burn area. Okay, the governor, Josh Green, who I showed you earlier, this character in the back with the blue envelope, has made statements after the fire indicating that he's not going to allow foreign interest to come into the island and buy property and whatnot. He says before that, the state will take the property. So pretty much he said, my point is, they don't have intentions on allowing the natives to grow, to build back. That's not in their list of things that they're going to do. And here's one of the natives explaining that.
Homes, not in Lahaina.
Archie
I just came from a
Kalepa,
meeting run by the governor. All these developers were talking about, forget the permit process. We're going to build homes, not in Lahaina, make these homes available. You know what the truth of that is? They were like,
so it sounds as if the meeting that he went to, he heard plans of building the homes, but not where they were, not where they burned down at, which goes along with what the governor said about him taking the land. He's also made emergency proclamations that make it easier for him to take the land and easier for developers develop without permits or less permitting.
fast track their development. And then that is, they were like fast track their development.
Well, let's go back and listen. I fucked it up.
We're going to build homes run by the governor.
The governor shot straight.
We're talking about, forget the permit process. We're going to build homes, not in Lahaina, and make these homes available. You know what the truth of that is? They're like fast track their development. They're not fucking helping the people over here. There was not one conversation in this meeting about the people.
They look, If y'all don't mess with Trump, you are retarded. Okay, Biden offered these burn victims. They are victims, in my opinion, because this was not a natural fire. Not a natural fire. Okay. But Joe Biden offered him $700. Trump would have gave him, man, he would have brought him off at least a couple racks, like some COVID type of bread, you know what I mean? Some PP loans, maybe even like PPP loans or something. He would have helped these natives out a lot more than that. You know, some of these politicians don't have the country's best interest at heart. And then you can see Biden only offered him $700. That's it. Slap in the face.
About the people. The people. Every conversation that was had, every developer that came up there and talked about what they could offer was about getting rid of the permits so that they can steal water from our streams. They can fucking fast track westernization development and forget about a culture and place.
Now, if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. Because that's exactly what our government does to us. They have not our best interest at heart at all. They want to be able to steal the resources and capitalize off of you. And that's exactly what they're doing to them. As you can see, that's exactly what they're doing to them. Exactly what they're doing. It goes along with what we see daily. They don't care about us. They are willing to burn down people's neighborhoods so that they can have control of their land and then bless them with something else and make them feel as if, you know, they were helped out. They're the heroes. But in truth, they caused the disaster.
That's gonna be our hardest journey in this long road to recovery.
Well, he was saying that he's getting around the developers. They're trying to take their land. That's what I wanted to show you guys. You could look it up, Josh Green, where he says what his intentions are. Now, as you start going down this WEF World Economic Forum rabbit hole, you'll see that Josh Green has goals for that part of the island. He has plans that they set in action years ago, at least a year ago. They have been talking about it at summits, Davos conferences, what they call sustainable cities. I'm not going to go into it here. You got to do your own research on that. Just look what a sustainable city is, 15-minute city, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then remember how they treated you during your COVID. Lockdowns, restrictions. Just put the COVID lockdown restrictions with 15-minute city. You'll see where it goes all bad, because they'll sell you a hope dream, making you think that the 15-minute cities are beautiful and glorious, technology and everything's run off the grid with AI. But what they won't tell you is there is no private ownership, state owned. So when they come through and burn your part of town down and build a 15-minute city, you won't own nothing. Let's see what.
I am a teacher, a third grade teacher from the burned down King Kamehameha III Elementary in Lahaina. And I am testifying on my concerns of the governor's emergency proclamation that happened 3 weeks prior to the fire, and how it suspended 7 state statutes, of which exonerated everything that you guys are in charge of. Covers county organization administration. Chapter 46, collective bargaining was rescinded. School impact fees, collective bargaining was rescinded. And to my knowledge, this was the first emergency proclamation in the country that didn't have a preceding incident. Normally it's like a hurricane, boom, we got an emergency proclamation. But this was just, from my knowledge, was just to streamline development on Maui, and it is allocated all decision-making power to one person, the housing officer of the governor, Nani Medeiros, who's unelected, who can trump every single thing that you do and everything that you say and every item that we cover without any input from the community, without any public discourse, without sunshine law. Before I go to my, tomorrow, I love what you said, Lahaina's not for sale, please include us, but I don't see that happening. And I was able to meet with Nani Medeiros. I graciously invited her into my home in order to speak with teachers from the burned down King Kamehameha III Elementary and their own homes. And they're moving forward they're meeting with developers, private landowners, and not a lot of community unless you know how to maneuver correctly. So before I go to my next item, I would just like to ask each council member to let me know, are you in favor of this emergency proclamation that takes away sunshine law, collective bargaining, all your power in decision making? I would like it if you did me a kindness, and before I go on to the next item that I want to testify on, who's in favor of that? Because I have serious concerns.
Mr. Huey, we don't have discussions at this point. We're just taking testimony, but I'm sure each member is happy to respond to you on their own.
All right, so can we end this item and go to the next item?
Sure, yes.
So I was asked to start a teacher work group.
So they don't want to discuss this. He just put this proclamation in that no one had a vote for it. How was he able to put this forth in the dark of the night, and all of a sudden that same area burns down, and now I'm trying to put this together. Okay, look, it goes deep. The conspiracy, the future. Look, this is the future that we're talking about here. Okay, the future looks like they're taking the land. They're offering people pennies on the dollar for their land, getting them up out of there. Right now, you're not even allowed to go to your burned down property. If you have a house in that area that didn't burn down, you're not allowed to be there. They're offering you Airbnbs and stuff. So, and they're meeting with developers. These are locals that are telling it. They're there. They're in Hawaii. They're meeting with developers. Like, they're not involving the locals. They're not asking them or like offering them grants or loans to help them redevelop their own shit. They're talking with their own developers.
With HSTA on housing, and I was able to get people that were able to talk to Nani Medeiros, and they really need.
Well, let me finish putting that back together. I can't go as deep as we need to on this one. The next one I will touch on Josh Green and Doug Webb, the World Economic Forum, Davos conferences, show you more about the 15-minute season, the plans, the future that they see in future for this land. It's going to be the first sustainable city, 15-minute city. They had plans already in the works for that part of town, which is kind of odd because people live there and no one had offered to sell their land to them to do such. But it burns down on a weird chemical fire, from what it looks like. Man, the conspiracy goes deep. Here, I think we need to watch a little bit more of this. Let's do his talking. Let's see what his next question is.
You passed a resolution on foreclosures, mortgage evictions, subsidized rentals. There's a lot of different things happening right now. Like, there's one teacher that lives on this side, but had 3 other jobs besides teaching in Lahaina, and has a $4,000 mortgage. So his house didn't burn down, but he's going to lose his house if something isn't done quickly. A different teacher who's had their house burned down moved over here and is trying to buy a house over here, but other investors are trumping her. And I just can't can't say enough about my concern over the fact that we have streamlined development without any community input, without sunshine law, without public announcements, without meeting notices.
You see what he's saying? He's saying like they're meeting with the developers. They're not talking to us. They're not addressing the sunshine laws. I'm assuming the sunshine lines have to do with their water. I gotta look into that. I don't want to misinform, but I know that they're. I'll show you a video of their water director and how sacred water is to them. Is on that island.
I just can't say enough. Everything that you do can be trumped by one person who's unelected and has no community input. And for me, I just think that, I wouldn't know why. She also said that she met with 4 council members and they were in complete agreement with the emergency proclamation. So that means there's 4 council members here, allegedly, that she stated are in agreement with getting rid of sunshine law, collective bargaining, school impact fees, and Chapter 46. And it's like, my question is, why did you run if you're not going to step up to the plate when we need you the most? And
the reason why is because the globalists in the World Economic Forum have big money. They have a lot to offer. They have a lot to offer these people. Obviously, they get something out of it. Let's see the last one. This one right here.
I've been part of the human experience experiment ever since. First we were in Maui Prep.
By the way, shout out to Peggy Hall. She goes down deep in these rabbit holes. She has a lot of information out there to put out there for you guys to go check out Peggy Hall.
They passed out toilet paper because they wouldn't let us use the bathroom. I guess we look like leprosy people to them in our dark skin. And we went to Baldwin High. Now I'm at Royal Lahaina. Insensitive to fill out papers that I'm not a proud American. I am forced to be American in Hawaii. You're telling us to fill out this paperwork so that.
Okay, my bad. I didn't get you guys filled in, but she's talking about the $700 that they gave her. We're not gonna watch this whole video, but they offered her $700 and you got to fill out this paperwork. And you also first got to file for some type of small business loan, be denied by the bank, and then after you do that, you can apply for this SBA loan. And no, I'm sorry, that's the SBA loan that you're supposed to. I'm sorry, I'm high. I'm fucking up. No, but you're supposed to apply for the SBA loan, and then when you get denied for that, then you get the $700. But you got to ask all kinds of questions. There's lawyers for the state that are there with paperwork, trying to get them to sign paperwork. They don't understand the paperwork. A lot of them they don't have their own lawyers to help them interpret the law or what's in the paperwork that they're trying to have them sign. And they're doing them dirty over there. That's the pain. That's like what we're talking about. They're over there in their hood doing them dirty as dirt, doing as fuck. It's wrong, man. It's wrong right now. We're getting done dirty. Everyone, they just came in through their city like this. Look. Look at this, man. That's how they. Man, I can only imagine these people are going through it. You see, they're in a traffic jam. They're everywhere in traffic jam to get out the city. All right, we're gonna wrap this up right there. We're gonna wrap it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah. Oh, while that's all going on, what's Joe Biden? What's Joe Biden doing?
On Ohana, whether by blood or by friendship.
Oops.
But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home.
Joe Biden taking a nap, as you can see. He taking a nap, but Yo, it's unfortunate for those natives over there going through them. Looks like the government, their own government, as the lady said, she's forced to be an American. You know, they're off an island. They could be their own province, but they under the America flag, and this is how they do them. Dirty, man. Man, but I don't want to go too far down this one. I'm going to touch on the next one with Josh Green. We're going to talk about Josh Green, the WEF. We're going to go down a little bit more about the police chief, his connection. You know, it just seems a little too convenient. There's rumor that Eric Hooks, the assistant director of FEMA, was arrested. I don't have too much on that, but that's just more conspiracy to see in the future. Us conspiracy theorists always seem to be right. So, and the reason why is because we're willing to look outside the box and stop trusting the media so damn fucking much. Anyways, I'm gonna get up out. Free Stuart on Instagram. Free Stuart with an STUART. Free Stuart, one word. Hit your boy up. Oh, there you go, right there down at the bottom. We're gonna go down these rabbit holes, as you can see, all the way to the bottom until we figure out, till we get a little bit of truth. We'll never know. They don't give us the information. They scrub the internet. It's hard to find videos. You find the videos, then the videos are gone. Man, but we're gonna do some investigating on this Conspira-See Your Future series. Hang out with us. We about an hour deep on this one. We gonna call it a day. Have a good one.